Many people don't know this, but certain vitamins can quietly transform how the body manages blood sugar. Yes, something as simple as a daily dose of the right nutrients could ease insulin resistance, reduce inflammation, and stabilize glucose levels. And here's the twist. While some vitamins are well known, others are seriously underrated in diabetes care. Stick around, because the last one might be the missing piece in your routine for better blood sugar control. It's not what most people think. Vitamin D might not be the first thing that comes to mind when talking about blood sugar, but it plays a powerful backstage role in diabetes care. That's why experts often refer to it as the silent regulator. It works behind the scenes, supporting insulin sensitivity, calming inflammation, and even helping cells respond better to glucose. And what's shocking, an estimated 40% of adults in the United States are deficient in this essential nutrient, many of them unknowingly. Let's break it down simply. When someone has diabetes, especially type 2, the body either resists insulin or doesn't produce enough of it. This causes sugar to build up in the blood. Vitamin D, however, helps cells become more sensitive to insulin. It's like a translator that helps insulin communicate more clearly with cells, making sure glucose gets absorbed properly instead of lingering in the bloodstream. Research from Harvard's School of Public Health and the American Diabetes Association reinforces this link. Studies have shown that people with low vitamin D levels are more likely to develop insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. One large-scale review even found that vitamin D supplementation can slightly reduce fasting blood sugar and A1C levels, especially in those who are already deficient. But the story doesn't end with insulin. Vitamin D is also a major player in reducing chronic inflammation, a common issue in diabetes. Inflammation disrupts how insulin works and damages cells over time. By reducing this silent inflammation, vitamin D protects the pancreas, the blood, vessels, and even the immune system, all of which are critical in long-term diabetes care. Now here's a practical example. Imagine someone spends most of their day indoors, working in an office, commuting in a car, and relaxing in front of a screen at night. That's the average American lifestyle, and it leaves little room for sun exposure, which is the primary way the body produces vitamin D naturally. Add in the use of sunscreen, which is essential for skin health. And it's easy to see why. Deficiency is so common. So how can someone increase their vitamin D levels safely? There are several routes. Sunlight, just 10 to 30 minutes of midday sun a few times a week can help, but this varies by skin tone, location, and season. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, and sardines are great sources. A 3.5-ounce serving of cooked salmon provides more than half of the daily recommended intake. Fortified foods. Many dairy products, plant-based milks, and cereals are fortified with vitamin D. Just check the label. Supplements, especially useful for those in colder climates or with limited sun exposure. Look for D3, cholecalciferol, which is more effective than D2 in raising blood levels. A quick tip: when taking supplements, it's often recommended to pair vitamin D with a meal containing fat to improve absorption. Also, regular blood tests can help track levels and ensure they're in the optimal range, generally considered to be between 30 and 60 ng/ml. Still, it's important not to overdo it. More isn't always better, and excessive vitamin D can lead to toxicity, causing symptoms like nausea, kidney issues, or calcium buildup. Always consult a healthcare provider before starting any high-dose supplement. Let's connect this to daily life. Imagine Maria, a 52-year-old woman living with type 2 diabetes. She started walking in the mornings and eating more vitamin D-rich foods after discovering her levels were low. 6 months later, her A1C dropped slightly, and she reported fewer energy crashes during the day. It wasn't magic. It was small, consistent changes that helped her body respond better to insulin. Vitamin D is not a cure-all, but it's a foundational piece of the puzzle, one that many people overlook. It doesn't act loudly or flash with quick results, but its impact on long-term blood sugar management is undeniable. And here's something interesting. While vitamin D helps the body use insulin more effectively, the next vitamin in our lineup supports the production of insulin. That's right. Coming up is a nutrient that often flies under the radar, but is especially important for people taking diabetes medications like metformin. When it comes to diabetes, most people focus on blood sugar. But what about nerve health? That's where vitamin B12 steps into the spotlight. This essential nutrient is often overshadowed by more popular names, yet it plays a vital role in protecting nerves from the long-term damage caused by uncontrolled glucose. And for those on metformin, one of the most prescribed medications for type 2 diabetes, the risk of deficiency is even higher. That's why vitamin B12 is known in this world as the nerve protector. Let's get into the science. Vitamin B12 is crucial for the formation of red blood cells, DNA synthesis, and, perhaps most importantly for diabetics, the maintenance of the nervous system. It keeps the protective coating around nerves, called the myelin sheath, healthy and strong. When someone lacks B12, this coating can start to deteriorate, leading to symptoms like tingling, numbness, weakness, and even cognitive issues over time. According to data from the American Diabetes Association, prolonged use of metformin is linked to a reduction in B12 absorption. It's estimated that up to 30% of individuals on metformin may have lower B12 levels, with a significant portion of those showing clear signs of deficiency. What's even more concerning, these symptoms can be mistaken for diabetic neuropathy itself, making it harder to identify what's truly causing the nerve damage. Take John, a 60-year-old man managing type 2 diabetes. He had been on metformin for over 5 years when he began noticing a tingling sensation in his feet. At first, he assumed it was just part of his diabetes. But after routine blood work revealed a B12 deficiency, his doctor recommended a supplement. Within months, the tingling subsided and his energy levels improved. It wasn't just diabetes, it was a lack of this often forgotten vitamin. So, where does vitamin B12 come from? Naturally, it's found in animal-based foods, making vegetarians and vegans more prone to deficiency as well. Here are the top sources: meat and poultry. Beef liver is one of the richest sources. Even a single serving provides several times the daily value. Fish and shellfish, tuna, salmon, trout, and clams are all excellent choices. Dairy and eggs. Milk, cheese, and eggs contain modest amounts. Fortified foods. Many cereals, plant-based milks, and nutritional yeasts are fortified with B12 point supplements, available as tablets, sublingual drops, or even injections for those with severe deficiencies. For people on metformin or those experiencing symptoms like fatigue, memory problems, or nerve tingling, it's smart to check B12 levels with a simple blood test. The good news? B12 supplementation is generally safe and well tolerated. Unlike some vitamins, B12 is water-soluble, so excess amounts are typically excreted in urine. That said, it's best to work with a healthcare provider to determine the appropriate dosage. Some people may only need a standard multivitamin, while others benefit from higher doses, especially if deficiency is already present. In more serious cases, periodic injections may be required to restore optimal levels. Let's bring this into real life. Think of Susan, a 45-year-old vegetarian with pre-diabetes. She was committed to a healthy lifestyle, but often felt drained. After a visit to her physician, she discovered her B12 levels were low. With a small dietary adjustment and a daily B12 tablet, her energy bounced back. Sometimes the fix isn't a drastic overhaul, it's identifying the one small piece that's been missing. Vitamin B12 doesn't just protect, it empowers. It helps preserve nerve function, supports mental clarity, and keeps the energy flowing. And for those already managing the complexities of diabetes, every layer of protection matters. This vitamin may not lower blood sugar directly, but it protects the very systems that diabetes threatens to wear down over time. And now comes something even more surprising. While vitamin D helps your body use insulin and B12 protects the nerves affected by diabetes, the next vitamin has a more direct effect on blood sugar itself. It's often associated with immune support, but its antioxidant power also stabilizes glucose levels and reduces oxidative stress. When most people think of vitamin C, they picture citrus fruits and a boost for the immune system. But in the world of diabetes, vitamin C has a lesser-known superpower. It helps stabilize blood sugar and reduce the oxidative stress that worsens insulin resistance. Yes, that little orange in your fruit basket might be more powerful than you thought. Let's unpack the science. Diabetes, especially when poorly controlled, leads to a buildup of reactive molecules called free radicals. These molecules damage cells and increase inflammation throughout the body. This process, known as oxidative stress, is a major contributor to insulin resistance, vascular complications, and even diabetic retinopathy. Vitamin C, a potent antioxidant, helps neutralize these harmful compounds and reduce systemic inflammation. But that's just the beginning. Several studies, including ones published in the Diabetes, Obesity, and Metabolism Journal, show that vitamin C supplementation may reduce fasting blood sugar and post-meal glucose spikes in people with type 2 diabetes. One study even found that participants taking 1,000 mg of vitamin C daily experienced improved glycemic control and lower blood pressure. These are small but meaningful wins in the daily battle to keep diabetes under control. Now, here's the fascinating part. People with diabetes tend to have lower plasma levels of vitamin C. High blood sugar levels cause the kidneys to excrete more of it, meaning they may need higher amounts to maintain adequate stores. That makes regular intake even more crucial, not just for immunity, but for daily metabolic stability. Let's talk about how to get more vitamin C, naturally and safely. While oranges are the poster child, there are other sources that actually offer more of the nutrient per serving. Bell peppers, especially red ones, which pack more than double the vitamin C of an orange. Strawberries, delicious and diabetes-friendly, due to their low glycemic index. Broccoli and Brussels sprouts, cooked or raw. These cruciferous veggies are nutrient-dense and rich in antioxidants. Kiwi, just one medium kiwi contains over 70 milliliters of vitamin C and is relatively low in sugar. Tomatoes, versatile and easy to add to salads or sauces. And of course, supplements are an option, especially for those who struggle to get enough from food alone. But here's a word of caution: high doses of vitamin C, above 2,000 milliliters per day, can cause stomach upset and may interfere with certain lab tests for blood glucose. It's always best to start with food, then consider supplementation in moderation and under guidance. Picture this scenario. David, a 58-year-old with type 2 diabetes, always thought vitamin C was just for fighting colds. After learning about its antioxidant benefits, he started adding bell peppers and kiwi to his meals. 3 months later, his doctor noticed a modest improvement in his A1C, and David felt more energetic with fewer post-meal crashes. Small changes, big returns. Another point to highlight is how vitamin C supports vascular health. People with diabetes are at greater risk of heart disease and high blood pressure. Vitamin C helps improve blood vessel function, supporting better circulation and reducing the risk of complications over time. So how much do you need? The recommended daily allowance, RDA for adults, is 90 mg for men and 75 mg for women. But in diabetes care, some research suggests higher daily intake, up to 500 or even 1,000 mg, may offer added benefits. Again, it's all about balance. Too little, and the body lacks protection. Too much, and it may create new issues. Vitamin C might not directly produce or enhance insulin like some other nutrients, but it plays a stabilizing role that's essential. It protects cells, eases inflammation, and helps balance the ups and downs of daily glucose levels. In short, it supports the entire system working in harmony. And now, here's something to think about. What happens when all three vitamins, D, B12, and C, are working together? Imagine a team where one member improves insulin use, another protects nerves, and the third shields cells from internal damage. Together, they create a strong, natural defense system that can support anyone living with or trying to prevent diabetes. If you liked this video, consider watching the one on your screen.